Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're here tonight we're today at ESN. Here we are at Newton, Iowa, as we're here at Iowa Speedway, very roughly, I'd say, an hour away from basically any kind of civilization. That would be Des Moines, Iowa, I believe is the capital city of the state. We're here at Iowa Speedway, the 7/8 of a mile short oval built not long ago in the mid 2000s, opened up in 2006, built for the IndyCar series and built for the IndyCar and NASCAR series. IndyCar ran here for many years. So did the second tier of the NASCAR series. That would be the Nationwide Xfinity series for years. Also ran here. It's become a bit of a staple now, as the Cup series is now racing here too. But tonight we're here for AWSCO Continental Series racing at Iowa, as the as the grid takes on this track for round 27 of 40 in the Samsung 250 laps, just over 218 miles here at this track. And yeah, as I said, we're counting down the races in the regular season now. This is the fourth to last race, and the second to last at a track under a mile for a in this series in the regular season. It's been one that's the regular season has been filled with short track action, but the next two short tracks we're gonna head to are some of the bigger ones. Bigger and more conventional short tracks, I would say, for I'd say bigger stock cars, quote unquote. That would be Iowa and Richmond. These tracks are fairly large facilities that are more appropriate for the kind of national series racing that some may have our audience may have been used to, I think. And Ellie, what do you think of Iowa Speedway? I think I'd say this is one of the fairly unique track. I'd say it's like a mile oval for IndyCar, the way they race here, but obviously the stock cars race this track very much like a short track, but even then, it's still fairly large and fast for one, compared to the stuff we've seen this season, especially in the Continental Series.
Yeah, this is an interesting track. It is just under a mile. It's one of our longer short tracks. It's very weird, but it's a great track. The racing here looks very interesting, and an interesting thing about this track is again that the lower lane is where you're going to want to be more focusing on most of your strategy on. The higher you go up, you just don't get that much momentum here, and I think it's very interesting that it's one of our weirder shaped short tracks where you can kind of run it like a long oval, but also you still have to be aggressive, and you still have to be careful on those turns.
Yeah, notably the next two short tracks we're heading to are more D-shaped ovals. I think Richmond is a similar kind of racetrack, I believe, where it's a short track, but it's also D-shaped, kind of like that of a more intermediate style speedway. As opposed to say a Martinsville or like a South Boston. Iowa has that kind of tri-oval grass section. Richmond does as well, and so the shape of the track definitely makes those two tracks kind of in a crop of their own when it comes to short tracks in North America. So that's something that these two the grid's going to be looking out for these two next races, and it's going to be both series because these next two, I believe these next four races, I believe, yes, the run up to the end of the regular season will have the two series run at both at the same track for both weekends, at the weekend, I should say. So yeah, a lot of similarities between the two series again here as we head to the end of the regular season. Speaking of, we should probably look at those regular season standings. Obviously, in the Continental Series, we've been talking a lot about how close the points battle is there, both in terms of the points lead and for the playoffs. Right now, heading out of round 26 at IRP, it's still Carl Reynolds leading the way, 602 points. But the entire top 10 right now in the points are within 46 points, 50 points out. You head up to 11th place. That's Jackie Kennedy, first out of the playoffs right now. 4 points behind the 64 of Mayumi Moriyama. Vinny Schultz was relatively clear of that playoff battle, but two finishes below 30th have placed her right in that now, 10 points above Moriyama. So that would be 14 points ahead of the cut line. So things are looking interesting here for the cut line battle. Abby Buchanan might be one to look out for potentially, although I feel like it's going to come down to those three drivers we talked about. Some of these other drivers were about 40 to 50 points out. Can still kind of do it, but at that point I feel like I would expect a win to come out of one of those drivers if they do point their way into the playoffs. Looking at some of these drivers, Jackie Kennedy starting on the inside of row 2, very close to the front of the grid in 3rd place, whereas Schultz is starting all the way out in 34th, and the 64 of Moriyama is kind of in the middle of that in 20th place. So yeah, our 3 points contenders in the cut line battle are kind of all over the place here on the grid at Iowa.
Yeah, they are, and that cut line is very competitive. I think Jackie Kennedy is in a really good position here, though. She is only down, I believe, -4 in the points, and she is starting in row 2. I feel like that's a good position for her no matter how you cut it. If she stays like that during the whole race, then she gains a lot of points. But if she takes advantage of her position and she can get up to 1st place, and if she takes that to the white flag, then that gets her a win. Either way, she's in a pretty good position, and she's somebody I would watch out for this race for sure.
Yeah, I would think so as well. Jackie Kennedy, looking at her results from the last few races here, obviously pretty consistent performances. We saw her build up a run of top 5 finishes there. That was at Memphis and New Hampshire. Memphis might be the closer, it's probably the closer comparison here in terms of the racing style. And with just one DNQ in the last DNQ all the way back in Evergreen, so that's hasn't really been a concern for the 12th team as of late. They've been pretty consistently in the top 15 or so, finishing in that kind of range. So with how close the points are right now, and the pendulum swings can get a little bit the pendulum can really start to swing here, as the 62 and 64 might have a little bit of have struggled a little bit form-wise. Looking at Moriyama as well. Moriyama also has 2 finishes below 30th or below in the last 3 races. In the middle of that, a 21st place at Echo Energy International Speedway at Surrey. So that's the kind of momentum shift that we might be looking at here. Weather is fairly nice here. It's 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius with 8-mile-an-hour wind. So that's weather doesn't seem to be too much of a concern. Not particularly windy or all that hot out. So I don't think weather is going to be too much of a concern here today. Looking at our front row, it's the 04 of Émilie Tremblay-Vaudrey in the in number 04 DHLM Racing Mercedes. Alongside is another fellow Mercedes, the 82 of Zoe Quinton in the Ubman Enterprise car. Zoe Quinton has that win. Hasn't qualified in the last 2 races, but won at 5 Flag Speedway. So this is the first time we're seeing her since Chicagoland. So it's been a few races since we've seen the 82, and she's back on the front row immediately here. We'll see what she can do from there. Obviously had a pretty good run of form starting off her career in the 82 car with that win. The 04 of Tremblay-Vaudrey as well. Still fairly new to this series. Jumped into the team at Michigan as well. Made 6 starts with 3 top 10, so a pretty positive first impression, I think, on the series from both of those drivers and their new rides. Here, looking at the rest of the top 10, we've talked about Jackie Kennedy already. Reina Munoz in the 7 is on the outside of row 2, 5th place in the championship. Kind of been a bit of a sneaky pick, I think, in terms of drivers. Only 2 top 5s this season. One of them the win at Delaware, Ontario, and the other one was 3rd place all the way back at Daytona. So consistency's been the name of the game for that 7 team, with 7 top 10s. You see rest of the top 10 here. You have Bridget Brosseau and Naomi Davenport, Isabella Fitzmaurice and Charlie McCarron, then Izzy Oberman and Michaela Kirkland. Pretty much everyone there has a win, just barring Bridget Brosseau, I believe. Yeah, and Charlie McCarron. Yeah, Bridget Brosseau and Charlie McCarron, both of them also fairly new to this race, fairly new to this series. 46 still hasn't missed a race yet, has been getting close to some wins as well. And McCarron's also been picking up, has also picked up pace, picked up the form quite a bit. So lots of these drivers that are still fairly new to these rides are starting to really get the really used to the what do you call it, the rhythm of the Continental Series. And I do wonder if one of these newer drivers will start to get a win. We obviously saw the 66 of Andy Starchev win on debut at Michigan, but we haven't seen another one of those drivers really take a win since then. We've come close already. Bridget Brosseau, I mentioned, finished second at New Hampshire. Charlie McCarron got a top 5 at Surrey. I believe this is the 6 of Mila Tristina also had a top 5 at Chicagoland. We'll see where Tristina is. Tristina starting 19th inside of row 10. So, what do you think of some of these newer drivers in the series right now? Obviously, we've had quite a few weeks to start evaluating these drivers now. Just over a couple months of racing. What do you think of some of these guys?
I think they've been actually really interesting to watch, and some of these newer drivers have been some of the more fun drivers to watch, because they've been kind of like underdogs some of the time here. I mean, Quinton especially has been really, really fun to watch her kind of just pick up the pace with everybody and kind of put herself out there as a car to watch for. I think McCarron has been performing pretty decently pretty recently as well too. I think given that they're newer drivers and we're getting closer and closer and closer to kind of the end of the season here, I think they're kind of just finally picking up the pace with everybody else. Some of them already had the pace, and it's with McCarron up here and Brosseau up here, I can easily see this being a very competitive race between more of the newer drivers. A lot of the drivers up in the row 1 to row 6 area, a lot of them are winners already, and well beyond contention for being knocked out of the playoffs. So I feel like the newer drivers are going to be some of the drivers we might have to watch out for here, more than drivers we've already seen get 1-2 wins. I think that's going to be more of the big thing here.
Yeah, with the countdown to the playoffs on now, it definitely might start looking like a more of a battle between these drivers that haven't seen any wins yet. Obviously, Kennedy and Brosseau and McCarron, and Michaela Kirkland as well, who's only running her 3rd race now, finished 2nd at Surrey. So 12th and 2nd being her only finishes, starting in the top 10 here again. Maybe that 54 is also another driver to look out for. Definitely also made a good impression on the series to start things off right there. All right, with that, I think we can wrap up this pre-race show now. Lots of things to talk about, obviously. Just one final note. Of course, you mentioned the inside of the track surface being probably the most optimum place for the racing to be. That's likely going to be the case, at least in the short run. I don't know. We'll have to see on the long runs. We'll see maybe if that upper line can grip up a little bit. But yeah, as is the case with a lot of these short tracks, I think that inside line is probably going to be the way the place to be to start the race at the very least. Obviously, very important for these double file starts. All right, with that, we'll send everyone to the booth now. It'll be Echo and Ludwig taking the raids for commentary today here in the Samsung 250 at Iowa Speedway. I hope everyone enjoys the show. Thank you.
And welcome to Newton, Iowa here. We're in about an hour east of Des Moines for the AWSCO Continental Series at the Iowa Speedway. This 7/8 of a mile track, very new facility built in 2006. we've had a lot of new racetracks lately, and I'm joined here today in the booth by Ludovic. And Ludovic, this is a short track, but it's not really like much of the other short tracks we see on the schedule. How is this one gonna be for these Continental drivers who've run a lot of short tracks, but they haven't really run one like this?
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's kind of an hybrid in a way between it has the features of a short track in terms of length and a little bit tire wear and how.
Alright, well, we seem to have lost Ludovic for a little bit there, but we'll get you with them as soon as we can. Alrighty. Here is your starting grid for this race here from Iowa. Row 1, it is the 04 of Emily Tremblay-Vaudet and the 82 of Zoe Quinton. Quinton, who won back at Five Flags just a few weeks ago. Row 2, Jackie Kennedy in the 12 and Reina Munoz in the 7. Row 3 is Bridget Brousseau in the 46 and the 22 of Naomi Davenport, last week's winner in IRP. Row 4 is the 38 of Isabella Fitzmaurice and the 10 of Charlie McCarran. Row 5, the 93 of Izzy Oberman and the 54 of Michaela Kirkland, who I can't see because the light is over her car. Row 6 is the 51 Sadie Martel, winner back at Evergreen, and the 35 of Krista Anderson. Row 7 is the 42 of Freya Van Lundquist and the 16 of Leah Azelhart. Row 8 is the 31 of Lori Ramirez and the 0 of Hideyoko. Row 9, the 14 Katrin Edelstein and the 15 of Isabella Smith. Row 10 is the 6 of Mila Chestina and the 64 of Mayavi Moriyama. Row 11, the 24 of Ashley Johnson and the 25 Kathy Ableton Perez. Won twice, including at Memphis, a pretty similar track. Row 12, the 78 Lexi Rockwood and the 55 Deborah Williams. Row 13 is the 2 of Rachel Ramos and the 11 of Takamoto Aya. Row 14 is the 5 of Maya Shelby and the 77 of Rose Lockport. Row 15, the 40 of Lara Sundale and the 59 of Abby Buchanan. Row 16 is the 8 of Kate Summers and the 99 of Karina Willis-Callaway. Row 17 is the 95 of Cara Reynolds and the 62 of Vinnie Schultz. Row 18, the 66 Ani Starchev and the 65 of Latanya Gray. And row 19, the 81 Alice Hageman and the 26 of Robin Morales. All right, Lou, do you got us there? Do you got us there?
Yeah, we're having some satellite issues. I think there's some ice in the satellite. All right. I don't know. Yes. But yeah, I'm here. What are you talking about?
I just finished reading off the starting grid. What's
Oh, that's right.
what do you expect from this race and this track? Because we're obviously seeing this is a different short track than a lot of them have run this year. But what do you think we'll see in this one?
It's probably going to be advantageous to the people who have good experience racing those kind of, let's call them non-American short tracks. Often you see, I would expect, because in some countries you have ovals that are built sort of around places instead of being built really to conventional standards. And those are very much more technical than these usual ones. So I expect the kind of people that are there to probably be more advantaged today. But it's Iowa. I don't think it's gonna be particularly chaotic or very. I think we're going to have a very normal race. It's not a kind of racetrack that's very conductive to crazy races.
Are you attempting to jinx this one, or is this genuinely your opinion?
Well, it'd be nice if we had a crazy race, but it's my opinion. I just think that this is not the most. It's different, but it's usually not the kind of usual short track racing where you see a lot of chaos and wrecks and stuff like that. But hey, maybe we'll see that. Maybe you'll see that. Who knows?
Maybe.
Hopefully. for
I have to
our
reset.
viewers' entertainment. Oh, great.
Drivers, start your engine. Drivers.
So that's one of your drivers on the pole in that 04 car, Emily Trombe-Vaudrey. She's had a bit of an interesting run through the season so far. She's got a few top 10s, but also has definitely struggled to make races in that car. This car just kind of has been on that area where it's just not really in the place where they can rely on provisionals, but she runs fast when she qualifies.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of having a bit of financial difficulties with this race, so we're doing everything we can with the poor budget. But oh, the race is starting. Hey, green flag.
Green flag, we're racing in Iowa. And on the start, the 82 holds on the outside on the 04 here. But for how long?
Big
Because the
break.
inside lane just has a little bit more grip. But we're seeing Quinn managing to hold on the outside.
That was a big break between, I guess, the end of the top 10 and the rest of the field, but that's sort of a patched up here. I think the outside lane just got to a very good start in the first few positions, and yeah, we're gonna start seeing too wide isn't really sustainable around here, so.
After a
start
while, it'll
seeing
start to
drivers-
single file out, but, you know,
Yeah.
because it starts double file, they'll be double file for a good bit. Bridget Brousseau looked underneath
yeah.
Jackie Kennedy, but could not make the position work. The 04 finally gets clear for the lead, with the 82 still hounding her. You see Bridget Brousseau trying to use that outside lane. You can fight back on the outside here. The outside's not, like, a tremendously difficult line to use, as we're going
yeah,
three
yeah.
wide
It's not-
here.
It's not difficult. It's just that being too wide makes you lose a lot of time in this racetrack, no matter if you're outside or inside.
Yeah.
Not really. It's a 1.5.
Caution
mile
is out.
racetrack.
There's a
Oh.
car around. It's Takamoto Aya in the 11. And that's a car who's in that playoff hunt. She's kind of battling for it, but points-wise, that's really not going to help her.
I mean, I would assume that points. There might be no drivers that get in on points here. Might be all.
It's very
wins
possible.
drivers. Especially because he had so many drivers coming in mid-season, that really didn't help the drivers that were trying to get in on points, because those drivers get wins, and yeah.
I mean, it did help them for a little bit because what it did was a lot of those drivers that got ejected mid-season were drivers that had wins. There were a few of them that had wins, so...
Well, yeah, but the issue is that on the long term, all of these drivers were at the back and couldn't get up because they just didn't run all the races, got wins, and took the places of everyone that
See if we can
Try to
figure
get
out
in on
what
points.
happens to Takamoto Aya. She just get hooked? I think she might have just gotten a little tap from the 77. Ooh. Ooh. Robin Morales made some contact. Looked like Ani Starchev had some contact as well, but that could have been a lot worse.
Well, yeah. The thing with this racetrack is that
Oh, we got a car blowing up.
So-
That's the 14 of Edelstein.
no, that seems like it's going to be the end of our day. Probably. I mean, yes, this racetrack kind of has this problem where it works within that margin, but if you get out of that margin, like if you get very very close to the yellow line, it just there's no grip really. So that's why 3 wide usually doesn't hold.
Yeah. Ellie?
Yeah, it looks like we're hearing over the radio that Edelstein's team is hearing that she's reporting gearbox issues. That's very unfortunate for her.
And she's done for the day because of this. So, very unfortunate end for Katrin Edelstein, but she does have that win back earlier in the year at Hillside, and she's still 5th in the points. Well, she was tied for 5th in the points, but I don't think she's going to come out of this race 5th in the points. There's, well, the 7 car was the one tied with her, and the 7 car is in, well, still running.
In 4th.
4th, yeah. But I mean, it doesn't really matter because the 7's going to finish ahead of her anyways, so. Even if the 7 blows up now, the 7 will still jump the 14 of points. All right.
Yes. All right.
So the lights are out on the pace car. We'll go back green this time. Takamoto Aya fell 2 laps down trying to get her car repaired there, so the 11 has a bit of work to do, but the thing is that she could still get back on the lead lap if she gets enough cautions here to bring her back into it.
That'd be interesting. I don't know what kind of damage would be there with that car. I think that you need kind of, well, you don't. It's not essential to have aerodynamics here, but it's helpful, at least in racing.
Green flag. A lot of cars that came down pit road took 2 tires. The 04 just slides a little bit wide here. And here comes the 12 of Jackie Kennedy looking to the inside.
Yeah, but good outside and might be able to close the
She's going to hang on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Just had the momentum. Looking for the cars that came down pit road. There's the 82. She's the first one. She's sitting back in 18th now.
And the 04 there just showed what you need to do in this track, and that's what makes passing not very easy. Because if you just stay low enough, like even if you lose a bit of speed, when you stay low enough, it's really hard to go side by side. Because there's just not that much grip on the way down inside.
Ooh, Kennedy almost made contact there with Martel. That was a bit rough.
That could have been
These
it.
two battle for the 4th spot. The 04 still continues to lead. She's led every lap so far. And I think that's another thing we're going to see is these single file restarts. I mean, they're not going to be trying to go 2 and 3. They're not going to be trying to go multi-wide.
Do we have a car in the pit lane here?
We had a couple cars down pit road. That looks like Robin Morales in the 26. I think she might have been suffering from that damage that she got when the 11 sideswiped her. Looked like the 5 of Maya Shelby also came down pit road. I believe she had some sort of penalty. Although I could be wrong. Tombe Vaudrey leads by about half a second. Seeing Martel, who's gone by Kennedy. Kennedy's fighting back to the inside of the 51 now.
And a pretty eventful start to the race. Ooh. Head all the way up to the wall. That's not what you want to see if you're, well...
The 7 and 38 made some contact there. The 7 almost hooked 38 down the front straightaway. That's for second right here between these two. We see Leah Azelhart fighting with Lori Ramirez. And you know, that's another thing that has to be thrown into the works here. There's a lot of decisions that are going to have to be made because next season, Continental teams are going to be limited to having 2 cars. You can't do a 4-car team anymore, or even a 3-car team. You're going to have to drop it down to 2. So a lot of these teams are going to have to make decisions on who they want to keep and who they don't want to keep.
Yes, definitely. Although I suspect we're going to start to see some affiliations between teams more than we currently have, because just because 2 cars for some teams is. I don't. There's probably going to be some alliances, but you know, it's these races are going to be part of the decision. As a team owner, I wouldn't take completely my decision on that though, because the end of the season is kind of peculiar. It doesn't really look like the rest of the season, so it depends on if you care more about championship success or just purse money. But that's a decision every team makes separately.
Yeah. You know, there are a fair few drivers that also are rumored to be going up to the Cup Series.
Well, yeah, that's also a part of it, but there's also drivers that are rumored to be coming into this series.
Yeah.
From the lower tiered efforts. Ooh.
51 and 7 made some contact there. These two fighting for third spot. Yeah, Sandy Martel's making her way up through the field. She's looking pretty solid right now. That 51 car looks pretty fast.
The cars seem a bit not unstable, but you know, at least a little bit.
They're a little on edge.
Flighty, yeah, you're on the edge, so it's.
I mean,
it's
again,
interesting.
It is pretty hot out. It's 86 degrees. You know, we're in the Midwest where it gets fairly hot and dry, and that's something that leads to the track being very slick. Like this track out here in the Midwest, especially, you know, middle of August, it gets hot and dry.
Very old too. That doesn't help.
Yeah, and there's a little wind going down, coming from the southwest, which I don't remember what direction is at this track. I think that might be a headwind exiting 4. So basically they have a tailwind going down the back. As Sandy Martel is now actually taken the second spot away from Isabella Fitzmaurice.
Yeah, she's flying. We might have a new leader soon because I think she's driving faster than the 04.
Yeah, and the 04's done a pretty good job here staying on the pole so far. I mean, she's led every lap, but she may not have that for long.
Yeah.
Lori Ramirez here has moved up to 5th spot, actually 4th now, because Isabella Fitzmaurice is starting to drop spots on the outside lane. Again, you can make the outside lane work if you have that right angle off of it, but it's really hard to get that angle. And we're seeing here Fitzmaurice drop behind Kennedy. They're starting to catch the 11 here. A lap car, Takamoto Aya. We'll see what the difference is in terms of lap times, but it looks like the 04 is still running about pretty similar lap times to the 51. Right now, fastest lap is scored as belonging to the 93 of Izzy Overman. There's where she is. She's in 12th right now. And that's where the NordVPN fastest lap is right now, but she tried to hook the 82 there. They both got on the apron a little bit. That's not something you really want to do, is the 15 of Isabella Smith is coming down pit road. And this is a much easier pit road to enter than a lot of the other ones we've seen, just because the pit road the entry is completely straight. See Martel drop behind Munoz. She's stuck behind the lap car of Takamoto Aya. Reina Munoz now into 2nd spot. Jackie Kennedy up to 4th, and Martel is really starting to lose ground. She got hurt badly by getting stuck behind the 11 there.
Yeah, it seems like currently everybody's sort of. I guess they're still fighting. I don't quite understand why they'd be fighting this early on, but isn't track position can be very important for this first pit stop, this green flag pit stop. So might be.
I mean, to be fair, that is assuming we get to those green flag pit stops, as the 66 is blowing up down the backstretch. Ani Starchev, the Michigan winner. I guess Michigan has a pretty similar shape to this track. It's just a lot bigger.
It doesn't drive different. It's completely different.
Yeah, Michigan has a similar shape to this track. That's where the similarities pretty much end.
Well, we're both in the mid. Actually, it's Michigan Midwest.
Ah, that's
But,
true. That's true.
And I mean, they're kind of. It's kind of actually. Michigan is kind of a cross between a super speedway and a speedway, and this is kind of a cross between a a speedway and a short track.
Yeah. That is a good point.
Yeah, there's that. All right. Now it seems like the top 10 starting to stabilize right now.
Yeah, it's
Just to be
pretty
expected.
well stabilizing out now. Though we're probably going to see some battles still. We're going to see some cars probably trying to move their way through the field. But so far, been a pretty calm race, aside from, you know, the opening few laps where we had that incident. That's really been it.
I mean, that incident was more of it wasn't really something that was going to be replicated. It's just because we started too wide, so
Yeah.
that gave more opportunities for 3 wide.
Yeah. Well, this track is just very kind of not great when you're looking for at 3 wide. And especially not great
Yeah,
when
definitely.
everyone's double file. Because there's not a lot of room in the groove here, so you're pretty much just trying to make that groove stick wherever you can.
What's going to be interesting here now is that that 04 is alone at its own, burning fuel, burning tires up front, and these cars might be able to catch up just on wear alone.
Well, you're not implying that we may have a bit of a draft here in play at Iowa.
No. Well, we have a little bit, but it's not important. No, it's more about fuel and tire conservation. It's kind of easier when you
7 is catching up here. She's catching up pretty quickly
Yeah.
too.
We're gonna have lap traffic, or am I dreaming here? No, probably not. No. Oh yes, we will. There's a car up front here.
That is the 26 of Robin Morales.
26. That might actually hurt the 04 depending on when she
It depends
catches
on
her,
where
but-
she catches that car.
Yeah. I mean, even if I don't think that there's gonna be a great benefit for that 04 because the way that outside works when you're alone, it doesn't. You have no one to push you behind. So that 04 can lock for even the slightest of moments right at 26, and then it's just gonna. Everyone else is just gonna be able to pass 26 very easily. So it's just gonna be more time lost for me. Well, not if the 7 continues to run in a wide lane like that.
7 ran pretty wide, but the 04 did check up quite a bit coming up to that 26.
Yes. I think the 7 is trying to catch a draft from the 26, but that's inexistent around here. Really, so.
Rasha, you know what happened on Annie Starchev's car?
Yeah, it looks like I think that was a header problem on the 66 that took her out of the race. That'll be the end of her. That'll be the end of her day here. They're still going to be they're going to be currently looking at the engine just to see where specifically that went wrong. But yeah, that's definitely a that's definitely a blow that'll end her race here at Iowa.
Well, the 04,
Definitely.
the 04 caught the 26 at not a great spot. The 7 caught her at also not a great spot. So it's kind of a wash between
Yeah.
between that.
But
with
this,
that.
I think the 7 really got it wrong by just going so wide for a couple of laps either. I don't know if the 7's starting to have maybe burnt up her rubber a little bit too early, but
Well, this is a track that
Rubber
has a
like-
lot of tire wear. The tires wear out the tires do wear out a considerable amount here.
well, 3/10 is what we saw here, and it's actually not that bad right now. But
3/10 isn't awful, but keep in mind we are only about halfway into the fuel run. So
yes.
by the time that
Here.
that could grow quite a bit by the time we see the run end, as you're seeing the 93 of Overman try to make a move on Krista Anderson for 9th.
There's quite the oh, that might actually be interesting in that sort of middle to up pack here with the 26
Yeah.
passing, because if one
They're
gets
getting-
caught on that outside lane, like the 15 is, the 51 is almost doing there.
Yeah.
Could end badly. Could lose a lot of positions. Does the 26 have an engine issue or something?
The 26?
Yeah.
No, the
it's not
26
running
just
fast.
has the 26 just has damage.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, she the one that like the second ahead. Oh my goodness, really wide.
All right.
They're gonna keep. We should keep it clean though.
They look fine. 7 is pretty close now. She's trimmed the lead down to 0.3 of a second for Tombe Vaudet. You see Leah Azelhard here battling with Isabella Fitzmaurice. Those are a couple Chevy teammates. They're not at the same team, but they're in the same manufacturer, so... And you can just... You see there, that's... Oh, as Latanya Gray gets into the 51. Almost turns her around.
Good car control from that 51.
That's the second time we've seen something like that happen, and the second time we've seen it... We've caught it live, where it hasn't resulted in anything. Oh yeah, look at
to
that.
be fair, it probably is. Like,
7 cars
if
there
we've caught
on the
it
04.
oh yeah. Yeah, 7 cars here. That might be strategy from the 04 team. That might be just trying to save up fuel, to save up tires, trying to overcut. But yeah, that doesn't look great.
That car might just be this car might just be better on the short run. I mean,
It
she
could
did
be
win the
that
pole.
field.
She did sit on the pole, so that could just genuinely
Could
be
be
a
that.
car that's better on the short run.
I will say though that
7
I think
car
anyone at
really
top
drove it
would
deep.
fight her right now because they're just all running away from the rest of the field. If they can continue to keep that speed, there's no reason they should overtake at this point this early in the race. Let's see. Actually, no, they're closing. Oh yeah, the rest of the field is closing in. They probably should get rid of that 04 as quickly as possible.
They are gonna, yeah, they are starting to close in on more lap traffic.
Well, yeah, no, but the rest of the field behind, 5th and beyond, is starting to catch a little bit of rest. It's not fast, but it's not really. It's in increments, but that's Iowa. It's gonna be an increments race.
Seeing back here, there's where Izzy Oberman is, sitting behind Zoe Quinn. Yoko back here. There's Latanya Gray. Marina Munoz still not able to make much of a move on Tombe Vaudet yet, but she has gotten pretty close to that 04. Now she's kind of trying to reel back in through this lap traffic, although it looks like the 11 car is not going to be much of an issue for either her or the 04. She gained quite a bit that lap, though. So there's the 51 Sandy Martel, who was pretty close to the front earlier, but she slipped back to 8th now, battling with Isabella Fitzmaurice. And here's the fight for the lead. There's good battles going on pretty much all over the track right now. It's fairly calm racing right now, but there's still some good battles happening.
It's there's always gonna be battles happening just because the track is that short.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone really has. I mean, I don't think anyone has really the mind to battle right now. They're more on their own race. But obviously, for in 20F or something like that, and you're trying to get to the front, you want that track position. That's why we're seeing so much battle at the back of the field, and especially with these tires that are starting to burn out, more mistakes happen, which can lead to more opportunities.
And I think that's something else that we're going to see here. As the tires kind of burn out here, it's going to lead to different drivers coming up through the field, taking different spots.
Definitely, especially with how unforgiving this track is on mistakes. Oh, they went really wide, and actually I think there was contact here between the 93 and the 0.
I believe you're right. Oberman and Yoko made some contact there. Doesn't look like it was anything too serious, but they're getting feisty. Latanya Gray right here fighting with Isabella Fitzmaurice. That's for the 9th spot. See Izzy Overman trailing these cars as well. I think that's the thing, is that you can actually make the outside kind of stick if you really dive it down in the corner. You see this fight for 3rd, there's Jackie Kennedy and Lori Ramirez, and the 31 actually holds on the outside there. But again, if you want to make something stick, you really have to dive it down pretty much. You have to kind of dive it down on the lane you're going for.
Well, yeah. That's why it's still a short track, really, because you kind of have to not get contact, because this track is too fast to have contact, but at least sort of push the other car around. That's the most short tracky feel that you're gonna get here. It's when, yeah, but that's what you see more with early runs.
Ooh.
This gets, oh yeah, that seems that's a preparation for a move here.
7 is pretty close, but she's not doing anything yet. Now she looks underneath the 04. Yep, there we go.
And yeah,
Battle for the lead. The
go.
7 car looks to the inside. The 04 fights back up top. The 04 just can't quite get clear. Oh, she's close, but
yeah,
not
just
clear.
went too much in that corner here. Close too much.
She put a little too much on entry, and Munoz is gonna try and power it out, but that 04 is pretty good at getting the exit off turn 4 on the outside. She's gonna hold on.
Oh my goodness.
She's gonna clear. That was a great
that's
exit.
impressive defensive. That 04 seems to be great at defending here. Just
Oh, the
able to
31.
position her car. Ooh. Well, the 31 here got a little bit too cocky. You don't overtake a car like that at this time of race. My goodness,
They
what
were
are they
making
doing?
contact again in 3 and 4.
If they're doing that, they're gonna get overtaken by the outside by the 12. Because that was way too low. What happened, I think, is that the 31 tried to make a move, and the 7 moved to the inside, and then the 31 just kept trying to make a move. That was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. They're just all getting really aggressive. We had that attempt. Ooh, we got a caution. Caution is out.
Oh, caution.
Ooh, that's
Well, talking about aggressive.
That looks like Kirkland and Ableton Perez, the 25 and the 54. These cars are still racing back, so well, if you're Reina Munoz, what you might want to try to do is try to pass that 04 in the pits.
Well, that's always what they're trying to do, obviously, but
Yeah. Well, you usually want to try to pass them on the racetrack, but yeah, it looks like everybody's coming to pit road.
I mean, if you get the opportunity to pass them in the pits, you're not gonna hold your nose. Oh, there's actually cars staying out here.
That's a lap car.
Those lap cars. Yeah, okay.
5 car of Maya Shelby will be the free pass car.
I would assume everyone's gonna take 4 tires this time, like last time.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
And that's gonna be why.
1.5 can?
Probably 2 cans of fuel.
2 cans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 tires, 2 cans of fuel.
All
Alright.
Full service.
Now we will watch the race off pit road and see who wins the race out. Who has the best pit stop? 31! The 31's gonna get the lead
that
off
came
pit
out
road.
of nowhere. All right.
Lloyd Ramirez.
Oh wow, the 04 has had a terrible pit stop.
The 04 just got a bit slow. The 04 is actually in second. She just, it takes a little bit to get accelerated out of pit road.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we'll take a look and see.
All right.
Take a look and see what happens with Hamilton Perez and Michaela Kirkland. Oh, yeah. Oh, 25 gets in the wall there. Comes back up on the track. And gets into the 54. Well, our co-host has gone to do something very quickly. We hope. There's a bit of a situation going on for our co-host, so we will get them back in as soon as we can. In the meantime, we are still here in Iowa. I don't know why we would have gotten to a different track by now, but Lori Ramirez got the lead off pit road. She is the race leader. Then it's Tremblay-Vautray, Munoz, Johnson, Kennedy, Hazelhart, Martel, Quinton, Gray, and Fitzmaurice, the top 10. No cars will be waved around this time. Maya Shelby was the one car that was supposed to get her lap back. I don't know why she didn't take the lap back, but okay, I guess. Pace car is off. And we're back to green here from Iowa. And the 7 is still trying to get past the 04. She made some contact with that 04 on the restart. The 7 dives down to the inside. Pushes the 04 up the track a little bit. The 12 might take them 3 wide. This is now a battle for second, and the 7's still not going to be able to get there, and here comes the 12 of Jackie Kennedy. Ellie, what's up?
I just wanted to add real quick while our co-host is busy right now. Karina Willis Calloway in the 99 have been completely absent in the top 10 for a good bit. The only driver in points playoff contention that has been really performing good tonight has been Kennedy. And with that, I think Kennedy right now, I think she's in a really good position, and I think it's been a really interesting race to watch when it does come down to that points battle. What do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree. Points battle's been interesting to watch, but as well, the thing is the 99 is starting to climb up the field. She is starting to get pretty close to the top 10. She's not out of this thing. I think that's one thing that might want to be watched here. The 64 Miami Moriyama is well in the back of the field. She's back in 27th spot right now. And keep in mind, it was just a 4-point gap from her to the 12. Vinny Schultz in the 62 is in 16th right now, and she had a 14-point gap from her to the 12 of Kennedy. Pombe Vaudreuil has dropped to 4th spot. Ashley Johnson ended up taking 3rd away. Lou, are you back? Do we have you?
Yes, hello. We're having difficulties with our satellite. Man, this company is we need to switch providers.
Yeah.
All right. So, good restart. Top 4. Seems like we're gonna have a top 4 really that's just gonna file out. Maybe top 5 if the 7.
The 12 is really starting to close in on the 31 now. The 7 still hasn't passed the 04, by the way. She's been trying to pass the 04 for a while, and she didn't pass the 04, but just watched 2 other cars completely blow by. Jackie Kennedy up there on the 31 of Ramirez. You got Ashley Johnson here as well in the 24.
Seems to be pretty impatient right now.
She's really impatient. Yeah, you said it. She's impatient. She is trying to make through the. She just moved the 12 out of the way there.
I mean, I would suppose that this is the moment of the race where if you get a long green flag run, you're probably gonna want to space out. Because I mean a pit stop at around mid-race, or, well, no, past mid-race, at, what, lap 150?
Well, the fuel window here is about 100 laps or so.
Yeah, so past lap 150.
So around lap 170, considering where our last stops were.
Yeah, so, really, if you get a long green flag run, you can just hope. If you have a large enough gap, but there's not going to be really any way for anyone to catch you, so... But right now, everyone's kind of aggressive. I'm pretty... I would just file out and try to create as much of a separation between...
Everyone's aggressive, but everyone's a fairly laid-back aggressive, I guess? I don't know, it's like... They're aggressive, but they're not being, like... wreck you out of the race aggressive yet.
I think that everyone's kind of conscious of the race situation right now. If you get a caution, everyone's gonna come in and put pit stops, and then you just gotta... Everyone wants a long green flag run right now, because...
Yeah.
At least everyone at the front wants one, because that's usually advantageous to people who are at the front.
Here comes the 24, looking to the inside on the 31. Attempting to fight for the race lead, but didn't really get much of a nose in there. So she'll have to kind of back up and regroup, and look at how many cars are reeling themselves into this battle. 31, I think, is kind of holding up everybody here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the 24 that's holding up everybody.
I don't know, the 24 has been catching the 31.
Well, the 34 has been passing, but by doing insane dive bombs on the inside that really are just... It's more racecraft than pure pace.
12 car to the inside. Looking at the inside.
It's interesting, you can see they're
able to get it though.
They're going way lower than they were before. Actually, this time they went pretty standard lane, but before they were all sort of taking this much lower, almost too low lane. But since everyone was doing it, it really didn't come across as being that low.
How about Lexi Rockwood sitting in 10th spot right now? She's doing a pretty good job in this one. And you see there, Jackie Kennedy trying to get past Ashley Johnson again, and this time I believe she will get clear. See Sandy Martell now trying to make that same move. Get to the inside of the 24 as well.
Yeah, but that outside is just so powerful. That's what makes it difficult.
The outside is pretty good, but It really depends how you roll out the lane. Oh, the 55 and the 04 almost went into the wall. They were lucky they
that
both
was a-
saved it.
Light job, but now they're gonna go. They almost went 3 wide. I think that would have been very dangerous. They were not really.
Here comes Kennedy
using
for the
all of
race lead.
racetrack.
12 cars got
31 just.
got a great roll. And here comes
31
Danny
had a
Martel.
terrible corner. The 31 tried to close in for some reason, and that doesn't work. Really gotta take the extremely high lane and take the momentum out of the corner. That's how it get done here. So
Kennedy gets 1 point for leading a lap. But she may not even lead to the next lap. Because here comes the 51 Sandy Martel side by side at the line. They were really close to each other. I don't know how close that was. You could check that. Oh, it's that close.
Oh my. Alright.
Well, it'll go to Martel. But if that were to happen at the end of the race, we would have to go to the camera and look and see who actually got it. But Sandy Martel now has the lead.
And, I mean, currently, well, we're starting to see a bit of a reshuffling of the field. We're starting to see, I guess people that made better adjustments getting up front.
Yeah.
That's going to be very interesting once we get later in the run. We're probably going to be coming up front. I don't think we're going to see that kind of detachment that we saw the first time, where the top, I think it was top 5, just, no, it was top 4 that just completely separated in front. We're not going to see that at all.
Now you're seeing Kennedy's closing back in on Martel. Oh, the 12 just pushed her way through. She's actually going to try to pin the 51 behind the 11. That's a great move by Jackie Kennedy. Martel will have to dive down and try to hope that the 24 doesn't go up.
Yeah, the 24 is really just not driving very cleanly today, so I'd watch out for her. Might get into some wreck before the end of this race if she continues like that.
Here we go, battle for the lead again. Martel fighting back on Kennedy. Not over between these two. 7 did finally get past the 04. It wasn't for the lead, though. 7 is in 4th right now.
Yeah.
The 04 has dropped back to 9th. Kennedy's still trying to hang on the outside.
The 04 is playing her future here. I don't think that the people at
Jeez, what are they doing in the back? Jeez, they are going all over the place.
That's
not safe.
Oh my.
They are doing something back here, and it's not.
Yeah, they're starting to get desperate because this is a time of the race where you need to get up, otherwise if you're beyond 20th with 100 laps to go, it's almost impossible to win here.
Yeah.
Unless there's some kind of insane end to the race.
Whoa, the 42 and 31 made contact there. The 42 almost hooked the 31 into the pit wall. Munoz to the inside on Johnson. And I think that's something we're really starting to see is there's cars here that are clicking on the short run versus clicking on the long run. That 7 didn't really look that strong at the beginning of the run, but she's really starting to make moves now as we're getting deeper into this run.
Yes, and the tire wear should be coming into effect any time now. Well, it already kind of is starting, but it really it's kind of a cliff around here, the tire wear. It's fine,
Yeah.
and then it's really not very quickly. So, oh my goodness, that was tight.
Back here, there's Kate Summers and LaTonya Gray. These two are battling for a position on track, the 15th position. The playoff battle. Ooh dear, they've caught lap cars, and that's actually put the
And,
12
yep.
back in the lead now. And that's going to put the 7 into second. It's Martel. Oh, caution, caution, cars around. It is the 10 of Charlie McCarran. 51 actually fell back to 4th. Imagine most of these cars are going to come to pit road.
Well, they're all going to come to pit road, I do believe. I just think. Now, do we? Oh,
26.
I think there was some post-caution incidents here.
There's something going on with all these cars.
The question now is going to be who takes 4 tires? Because I believe that some people must probably try 4 tires because you're going to be right at the fall off at that.
I don't see why you wouldn't do 4 here, but
I think that's some.
they're right sides for most of the field. It looks like.
Oh, interesting.
We've only run about 30 laps, so.
I mean, yeah, but the fall off's going to start happening not that long from now, so. And it's going to be a
12 car
pretty
12 car
weird.
Wins race out.
I think the 04 might have had some damage here.
There's a big stack up on the pit entry for whatever reason, and I'm not really sure why. I'll try and figure it out. But there was a pretty big stack up. There's a few cars that have a considerable amount of front end damage right now. '26 is one of them. Well, let's go back and see what happens to the 10 car of Charlie McCarran to bring out the yellow. She's on the lead lap.
It's right at the end of it, I believe, and that's
Right there. Yep, just gets hooked by the 54.
Ooh.
Just a lazy spin.
That was dirty. That was and sloppy as well.
See what happens. Why everybody stacks up. I'm not really sure. Oh, I think something happens. Oh yeah. Oh jeez. That's what happens.
Oh wow, that was. See, there's a reason why many safety advocates are calling for the end of the race back to the line. Yeah, that's it. That's basically it. Well, that's part of it. But hey, we don't listen to these safety advocates. We like real racing. Alright, 12 leading.
It's Kennedy, Johnson, Williams, Hazelhart, Fitzmaurice, Martel, Von Lundquist, Yoko, Ramirez, Schultz, the top 10.
Yeah, a lot of these cars that were sort of keeping up with that fight, but not really, just got so much damage. So we might actually have a pretty big separation now between sort of the first, I don't know, 7-8 drivers and the rest of the field.
Yeah, we'll see. Green flag is out. Oh, the 93 is really slow on the start.
Oh my lord.
That's stacking
I think
up
the
a lot
93
of
has some
cars.
engine issues here. Well, definitely has some engine issues, or tire, maybe. This is...
And
Oh,
everybody's pitting.
what?
What?
Oh my god, I think there was some penalty issues here.
I think they might have all gotten penalties. Alright,
I think some people jumped the 93 that weren't supposed... I guess? Actually, I don't know.
93's
might be
down
what
pit road. Looks like the 35's down as well.
And, well,
51.
that's some...
that's some chaos for you. So the new race leader is...
It's still the 12.
Oh, okay.
12 still hangs on to the lead. That's moved Von Lundquist up to second.
Yeah, I think the 93, having whatever issue she had, just... Yeah, kind of ended everyone.
Messed with something.
Well, yeah, it gave everyone that was behind her penalties that overtook her before the line.
31 and 0 are down as well.
I kind of feel like might be some debris on the racetrack here. Some of these cars are not.
Ellie, you got word on what happened to Izzy Oberman?
Yeah, it looks like her team was reporting her saying that she thinks she has some fuel system issues.
Well, that would explain why it wasn't going. Fuel's not getting in the engine. That's usually not what you want from your engine.
Why she was able to go so long in the race
Pete
before
Summers
the
and
issue
Mighty
happened.
Moriyama.
That was an alternative line, to say the least.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's the line you want to take, but it is a line.
But it's not the line you want to take. But
Well, after all of that, let's go through the what the top 10 looks like. It's Jackie Kennedy, Freya von Lundquist, Vinnie Schultz, Lexi Rockwood, Latanya Gray, Reina Munoz, Naomi Davenport, Emily Tremblay-Vaudet, Mila Chestina, and Abby Buchanan. Greenless Calloway is back in 11th. Vinnie Schultz now running third. That means she is still ahead of the 12 in points. However, it still wouldn't really matter because the 12 is, well, leading the race.
well, yes.
First car a lap down is the 24 of Johnson.
Do wonder though, if the 12 might not, well, maybe not have the win in the bag, but definitely have an advantage on the win here.
Oh, we got cars
Because,
around.
oh my goodness!
That's Moriyama, Ramos, and Shelby.
This race is quickly turning into chaos here.
Yes, it is.
There's something in the air, and
Ooh.
in Iowa, I thought we were gonna have a wreck here. Well, we already had a wreck, but a second wreck, I guess.
Well, the 24 of Ashley Johnson will be the free pass car. Looks like most of these cars are gonna stay out. The 8 car of Kate Summers is on pit road. Well, that was an adventurous last however many laps we ran. 10 laps, I think.
Yeah.
So, well, where do we start with this one?
Let's go see the wreck to begin with.
Well, let me wave around.
Oh yeah, the people you gotta wave around, yeah.
Let me wave around.
Yeah, there were some budget costs in the race control, and now it's now commentators are doing the race control. Yeah. Classic stuff. All right.
Okay, so these cars spun around at the start-finish line.
Oh, did the 08?
Oh, the 8 was really slow. The 8 was slow. She pulls down.
The 8 had an issue.
Jeez. 8 had some sort of issue.
It was just too late to go to pit
And
lane.
a lot of those cars that were trying to dive down all did it at the same time, and it kind of hooked each other.
Yeah. I don't know why they went down, but
she had the issue at the worst spot, too, because she had that issue.
Well, yeah, just past the pit lane.
And that's a car
95.
blowing up.
I didn't think Iowa was going to be a very abrasive racetracks for the race cars, but apparently it is. It feels like we haven't had 10 laps without having some kind of issue.
Yeah, the first 100 laps were really clean, and then now we've gone
Well-
these last 22 have been anything but.
Even with the cleanness, it kind of felt like there were some drivers that still had issues, you know?
All right.
It wasn't...
Ellie, do you have word on the 31 and the 8?
Yeah, it looks like what caused that major issue that held everybody up was the H her tire just went down, and the 31 ended up having the same issue just before that caution.
Jesus. Okay. There really was something down on the racetrack. I think it wasn't cleaned properly.
Maybe.
Because you don't usually get 2 tires down, right, one after the other.
Yeah. All right, top 10: Kennedy, Van Lundquist, Schultz, Rockwood, Gray, Munoz, Davenport. Okay, Anderson will get a lap back. Tombe Vaudrey, Buchanan, and Willis Calloway. .35 got a lap back because she's a lap car in between the top 10, so she'll actually move to 1 lap down.
We're going green. Halfway through.
Green flag is out. We are just a lap from halfway. Kennedy leads. Fight for third already off the restart. Here comes Lexi Rockwood on Vinnie Schultz. Vinnie's gonna fight back on the outside though, and I think she's gonna hold on to that spot. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
Latania's
my
gonna turn the
goodness.
78.
Oh, Lord.
Look at the 04.
Oh,
Brasseau
okay.
is in it. And cars are going
Oh, and it
everywhere.
continues.
Martel. Izzy Oberman. Kate Summers has spun around. Izzy Fitzmaurice has damage. Mila Chistina's smoking down the front straightaway.
I really did jinx it. Unfortunately.
They couldn't even wait for the mid-race report, huh?
Man. Yeah, man. This series is it's something. They have this tendency to kind of go crazy midway through the race.
Kennedy still leads. Not much would have
That's
happened if the 78 didn't make contact with the 0 there, and then everything broke. Everything just fell apart from there.
Well, everyone that was on the inside lane kind of didn't really have anywhere to go.
All right,
Which was most people.
55 is the free pass car. Assuming she wasn't involved in the wreck, which I don't think she was. I think she actually avoided this. Oh my gosh, yes, she barely avoided it, but yes, she did avoid it.
Oh, the 6 had some issues as well?
I think the 6 had some contact.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, it was
There's a-
very minor contact here.
Yeah, right
Oh,
there.
well, yeah, yeah.
And then what happens back here? The 78 just kind of... What, she's kind of stopped
just
on
get
the track.
troubles.
Oh, the 77 of Rose Lockwood. Ooh. Oh, the 51 and 38 made contact with her.
And then everyone trying to avoid by the inside just had to go to the apron, which was blocked by the 51. That was a clean one.
Well, we've certainly hit our accident quota.
Yeah, now we can have it, the rest of the race be clean, please. Just have a one smooth race.
Ellie, you got a report on Cara Reynolds?
Yeah, I think 2 cautions ago now, I'm losing count. She was blowing up on pit road, and it was because of her clutch.
All right, great.
Alrighty, well, top 10. It's Jackie Kennedy, Freya von Lundquist, Vinny Schultz, Reina Munoz, Naomi Davenport, Abby Buchanan, Latanya Gray, Karina Lewis-Callaway, Rose Lockport, and Charlie McCarron. That 10 car, this car, that just spun just a couple cautions ago, is in the top 10.
What is this race? All right.
And Isabella Smith has also gotten a lap back.
Hey, that's great. All right.
Alrighty.
Please don't wreck.
They will. We're going to throw it to the mid-race report very soon. Green flag is
Good
out.
start for Pitney.
12 gets
Actually-
not a amazing start by the 12. Here comes Von Lundquist looking to the inside.
So she had a good impulsion, and then she just sort of stopped. I don't know if she had like a mischief or something, but
Car spun down the back straightaway. It's Robin Morales. No caution. We stay green.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, they wrecked. They just didn't throw the caution for it.
I mean, if it means they can get it out of their system. Alright. Hey, the 7 might still have a chance at the win here, even though she's no rear.
Don't need one.
I mean, it's still pretty important. You kind of need aero, but
Yeah.
It's not a Martinsville or a well RRP, where you just don't need really a lot of downforce.
We still have about 28 cars running in this race right now. Now we may have a fight for second on our hands with Vinny Schultz catching up to Freya von Lundquist. Alright, well, with that being said, we're going to take you to the mid-race report with Rasha and Ellie, who are down in the studio. Rasha and Ellie, what's your thoughts so far after the first half of this race?
Well, where we're going, there are no rails here at Iowa Speedway, as things have taken an absolute dive in the last 20 or so laps. I want to say we've had at least 3 cautions in that stretch alone, and a lot of cars have been taken out of commission as a result. We're watching Zoe Quinton here, 10th place, kind of in the middle of this battle. A lot of cars shaken up by the last few cautions. You see that number 7 car of Reina Munoz was damaged in an incident right after kept taking the yellow flag. No rear end on that 7 car. Bit of contact there as the 65 Latanya Gray attempts a second act of homicide on the 99 of Karina Willis-Callaway. Moving up the pack, though, it is still the 12 of Jackie Kennedy leading the way from Von Lundquist. 62's dropped back a bit to the 22 of, starting to be caught by the 22 of Naomi Davenport. That's last week's winner. And the 77, that's Rose Lockport in 5th. Top 5 all fairly strung out. And then everyone else here, all the way down to basically the back of the field, are all jostling around for position. Back to the 5 of Maya Shelby here in 24th place. But yeah, Ellie, what have you thought of the racing so far? It's definitely been a the racing here has definitely not been, it hasn't exactly been a short track race. It's definitely that kind of hybrid racing we've come to expect out of this race. So, taking a bit from short track conventions, and then taking a little bit from perhaps a bit of speedway racing conventions as well.
It's been a great track to watch, and the racing was really great up until like lap 100-ish. The racing we were seeing early on was really good. I really liked the aggressive but not trying to kill each other type of racing, but now we've kind of just gone to we're trying to kill each other kind of racing, and I mean, it's been
Definitely
fun
trying,
to watch.
yeah. We're seeing here the 99 trying to take 6th place from the 7 of Munoz. Back here you see a pair of teammates, actually, 0 and 64. They're fighting for position. 64 sent up to the outside. It's definitely been a bottom feeder racetrack. The bottom of the racetrack has been the stronger line, especially especially on the longer term, I want to say. You know, in those long runs, you want to keep the car down to the inside. 12 now, maintaining that gap about 75 hundredths of a second, 3/4 of a second, I should say. To second place, we see the 22 now right on the bumper of the 62. We'll see what she can do here. 62 went from being on the bumper of the 42 to being hounded down by the 22 for third here in about 5 laps. So things can change very quickly here at this track.
Is the 22 trying to go back to back?
Perhaps so. The 22 is sitting in 4th place. Drop back a bit. We saw that there was a lot of confusion over positions when the 93 of Izzy Oberman not too long ago had a mechanical failure on the restart. That kind of that and the ensuing penalties that came out of that, of all the restart violations that happened because of that, kind of shook things up. Man, I think the 22 was one of the biggest benefactors of that. Moving up to the top 5 now. Back to this battle for 6th place. Things are still changing about. You see the gap here. This is about 3.5 to 4 seconds behind the leaders. As they've definitely strung out now. Just, you know, they're racing more or less single file with a bit of movement for a bit of double file action when they're trying to pass each other, like we see right now. As we see the 82 and 7 there made a bit of contact, just a bit of argy-bargy on the rear bumper of the, well, whatever's left on the rear bumper of the 7 car, I should say.
I'm not sure that's.
Oh, again, 82 now getting that treatment from the 0 Fiat Yoko. And that's going to push her to the inside. But she won't be able to take advantage. Just not good in the middle of the corner, really. 82 was really able to make use of that on the outside. Back to the 99 and 65 here. But yeah, it's definitely turned up a bit. You can see the rear bumpers getting a little bit more work done. As we move up to the top 5, they're starting to hit a bit of lap traffic. They all just got past the 8 of Kate Summers, and that's really compressed this pack up. 22 now actually ahead of the 62, made that pass for 3rd. Move back to the 8 here because this pack of cars is about to reach up on them, and that's a lot of drivers. They're about to go around this lap car. But yeah, you haven't really had much long run racing for a little bit. We had that run kind of in the early bit of the race after a few cautions. That ran, I'd say, about just over a half of an expected fuel run at this track. So we've had some long run action. Just we haven't really seen much of it lately. So I'm not really sure what things are looking like from a fuel and tire wear perspective. I think most of these cars last stopped around lap 120. Not even, more like lap 110, I want to say. It's been a while. So they've run at least 25 or so laps. I think more like 30 to 40 laps or so.
What we've seen from the long runs here is whoever is out in front.
You can see that, yeah, you can see that tire wear. They've lost about 7/10 of a second. But yeah.
I would expect a green flag hit sometime soon.
I would think it would happen. Yeah, I think it would happen at some point, I think.
But when we see long green flag runs here, usually whoever's out in front benefits a lot and stays out there for a while. So we're going to have to see who can get out there.
They're negotiating more lap traffic here, the 04. Let's check in on the 12 of Jackie Kennedy here, passing the number 11 of Takamoto Aya. Good thing is the positive for her is she has a second lead. 22 has reached the 42 now. That 22 car might actually be the best long run car here of this top 5.
Are we betting on Polymarket?
Why are we betting on Polymarket? That's a terrible website. Everyone knows you go to Kalshi. This is not financial advice, by the way. But yeah, we'll see what the 42 does here. As they're now taken on. Well, not quite yet. as they're negotiating around the 11 of Takamoto Aya here. Does the 22 pull the trigger beforehand? No. Stay behind the 11 for now. But yeah, we're starting to encroach upon some lap traffic here. We see I think that's the 59 behind, stuck behind the, what do you call it, the 04. But things are fairly calm here. Fairly calm relative to the last 20 or so laps.
20-ish laps,
Yeah. Things have kind of things kind of went insane for that little stretch there. But now we're seeing some more calm and steady action here at Iowa Speedway. This is the kind of stuff we saw at the beginning of the race, and this is the stuff I kind of expected. 22 got on the bumper of the 42, but wasn't really able to take advantage. Kind of had to back off a little bit, try to get out of the 42's wake there. Gap's grown a little bit now to the mid 1 seconds. See the 12 now approaching another lap car. We've gotten to that point of the race where we're approaching some of these other lapped cars.
I guess the 12 really did listen to my advice in the pre-race show. She started out really up front, and then she took advantage of that, and now she's staying there.
Yeah, that 12 looks very, very fast. Very, very fast. Definitely has a good short run, potentially just an all-rounder car there. That 12 is definitely looking like a race winner, but plenty of racing left to go, obviously. Just 90 laps or so. Definitely at least one more stop before everyone can get to the finish here.
There are a few cars up here who look really fast.
Yeah. The problem is I think they're all gonna. They need a bit of time to get there, given that they're a second and a half or so approximately behind. All right, not too much action here, yeah. So it's gonna be. I think this race most likely is going to come down to a potential green flag cycle of pit stops. I think. So with that in mind, with that impending green flag cycle, and potentially about. I want to say about, maybe, is it 100 laps? I'm not sure if it's 100 laps the fuel window is at this track. It's about 100 laps, so we are within the fuel window, but I don't think you want to come in just yet. We'll take one last look at the tire wear. The tire wear is pretty good on this car here. That might be the differentiator here between the 12 and the rest of the field. The 12 is really good at keeping those tires fairly fresh.
Her tires aren't that bad, and I was thinking you're going to want to stay out maybe another 5, 10, if you could push 11, 12 more laps here.
At least, yeah.
If the 12 can do that.
Don't want to come in yet. You're within the fuel window, but you're probably going to need to stop twice. Maybe not, actually, no. No, not for tires, I don't think. At least once. Definitely once, but you don't want to stop too early, because you're going to be screaming. Those tires are going to be screaming by the end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think if the 12 can do that, and I think she's going to because her tire wear is not that bad compared to everybody else's. She's going to be at a really big advantage next pit stop.
But yeah, you see this kind of second half of the top 10 also breaking up. There's a car on pit lane. Good time. Looks like we are probably going to start approaching this pit cycle, maybe this pit cycle perhaps. So with that in mind, what are you looking at in terms of race picks here? Obviously the 12 is running well, but there's that kind of cohort of top 5 cars all maybe trying to shake things up, trying to catch up to the 12 here. What do you do if you're one of those 4 cars and you think they'll have a chance at catching this 12?
Oh, I think the top 5 has a great chance at catching this 12. My thing here is, though, is the 12 is not as bad on tires as everybody else. And I don't know who in the top 5 has tires as not worn as hers. I think the big thing here is going to be when the 12 pits. And if she pits before or right when everybody pits or after. And I think the big thing here is when she pits, I think it's going to be later than everybody else. And I think it's going to benefit her. And I think she's going to be my pick.
Alright, 12 of Jackie Kennedy, obviously looking like the favorite here. Pulled out that gap to 2 seconds now for the 22 of Naomi Davenport. Well, with the obvious pick out of the way, I'm going to be looking at one of those picks in the top 5. I'm going to go with the 62 of Vinny Schultz. That's the driver. That's one of those drivers in that playoff bubble. Hasn't had a win yet, but typically has run very well over the course of this season. Obviously hasn't had that much obviously that performance hasn't really translated in the last few races, with some struggles in the last few weeks. But the 62 team definitely looks like it's kind of closer to its old ways at this racetrack here. And we'll see what the pit strategy, or potentially even cautions, given how this race has gone so far. A caution would 100% change everything. Pit strategy could also do the same here. We'll see if anyone else takes notes from the 81 coming in. Maybe that's a warm-up for the 77 team as well. That's another view you might want to look at. But the 62 is my pick here at Iowa Speedway.
Great pick.
All right, with that, we'll take things back over to the booth where Ludovic and Echo will take on commentary duties for the rest of the race here.
Oh, Ludovic, you got a pick there in the booth?
I mean, I gotta go for the 12. She's been dominating. She's the only one that really didn't have a penalty or wreck out from the original fast group. If the 12 loses it today, it's because something happened to her, or she did a terrible mistake. She won't lose it on pace.
I'm going to take Naomi Davenport. This car looks very fast. She's pretty consistently closing in on that 12 car. And she's got the win last week at IRP. She won at Kentucky earlier in the year, which is a somewhat similar track to this one. Davenport's got all the momentum on her side right now, and I think it might be that this 22 car that reels the 12 in and is able to take her second straight win. We have not had a single driver win consecutive races.
Huh, really?
Yeah. Has not happened in Continental. It's happened multiple times in Cup, but it's not happened in Continental.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, this is looking more like a super speedway race now than the short track race. It started very much looking like a short track race with the very aggressive driving and sort of slide jobs and this kind of very ridiculous thing, aggressive thing. Now it's looking more standard. Everyone sort of created their gap, they're running their race, which is not what you would expect as the race goes along. You would expect it to get more aggressive, but I guess maybe they just all got cold feet after that massive wreck a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, shout out Rose Lockport sitting in 4th right now. This car needs some good momentum. And she's up here. She's doing a pretty good job sitting in 4th spot. Freya von Lundquist running 3rd. Again, this is a pretty decent shout. This car hasn't really had a lot of solid runs. I mean, what? Von Lundquist's last top 10 was in Aguascalientes. Despite that, she's still 9th in points. Despite the fact that she really hasn't even gotten a lot of top 20s lately. 62's really pushing the issue on the 77, and the 65's pushing the issue on the 62. The 81's a lap down. She might be 2 laps down, actually, but the 81 has fresh tires. The 04 has gone another lap down. She's actually 2 laps down now, but she's just trying to survive to the end of this race. See a move being made for 4th. There's Vinny Schultz trying to take that spot. Lockport fights back on the outside. I think if anything happens to decide this race, it's going to be a late caution.
Yeah, probably.
A late yellow would be the one thing I would
expect. Or maybe just a completely missed pit stop. Keep in mind, this is looking like it's going to get to the end of the run.
The 65 is blowing up in front of everybody. Well, I guess Latanya terrorized her engine, too.
Is she getting back? That's the question. Oh, well, she's no, it'll be fine. She's off the racetrack. Right. I think it.
She's down on
probably
the apron.
should
I'm not
be.
sure if that'll be a caution. It could be. It
I
may
mean, we've
also
seen
not
that
be.
spinner earlier on that was on the apron and didn't cause a caution, so.
That's true. Looks like we're gonna stay green. Yep, we're staying
Yeah.
green.
Alright. Well, yeah, what I was saying is, with the tires that wear out, making mistakes is way easier, and if the 12 just slides up the racetrack by accident, because of a lap car or something, hits the ball and it has to take repairs, that puts the entire race back into play. But you need to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, that takes the 65 out of the question here. 62 is now trying to navigate more lap traffic here. She's gotten past Lockport.
That's not great.
geez.
Yeah, she completely got loose and the 81 just didn't have anywhere to go here. That could have ended badly. But you know, I think it's interesting to see how you really see the different styles of driving right now with the different packs that exist really. It's kind of seems like they really don't know what's the best line here. That's very entertaining to watch, even if there's not a lot of happening.
I mean, that's
I
the thing
really
is this that even if it seems like it's one groove, it's a very wide groove. Like you can kind of run you can run the low, like you can run the low line pretty much any way. You can enter pretty much any way you want.
The thing is that it's a one groove, but it's a one groove because you need to apex at this racetrack.
Yeah.
You can't. It kind of doesn't. It's not a road course, but it's kind of like a road course in a bit. And that you really need an apex. You can't just entirely go wide in the corner and expect to be fine. But the place where you apex isn't the most important. It's better to apex some. I think we've seen that it's probably better to apex a bit early. You can sit like apexing late work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is it kind of depends what your situation is, not only arrow-wise, but just kind of dependent on the situation overall. See, the 16 car of Leah Azelhart's coming out the road.
Yeah. If you look at the 12 right now, and how the 12 is driving, look at that. She's really going late. But that's because she's completely alone, and she doesn't have to bother about anyone. Look at that. That's really just apexing right at the end of the corner.
Yeah.
But if you look at somebody that's in the pack, they're gonna apex very early on because they want to make a move if it's possible. Well, very early on. Maybe not very early on. You can't really apex right at the beginning. But look at this. The 18 here just completely sort of ended it early. And then sort of, oh, wow! 18, I mean 81.
81.
Yeah, and the 81 just went. Is she gonna make that stick?
Yeah. Keep in mind the 81 is a couple laps down because she pitted.
Well, yeah, but that's still impressive. Even if it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's not for position. I'd also like to point out Karina Willis-Callaway. Whoa, the 59 and 62 just made contact in the middle of the corner.
Does the 62 have some kind of issue here?
It doesn't look like it. I think that 59 just got into the 62.
Because that's like, it's like twice in a row the 62 has gotten very loose off corners.
I just have a very loose race car. Karina Willis-Callaway is taken fourth because of that. So the 99 is moving up through the field as well here.
No, yeah, but they're still all basically. Actually, I was gonna say they're losing time. Well, yes, I think they're still losing time when there's no lap car.
Yeah, the 12 is clearly the best car right now. Through pretty much everything except for when she gets into lap traffic.
Yeah.
But even so, I think that the rest of the field is still having about the same amount of trouble as the 12 is getting through lap cars.
It doesn't help that we've started to see some lap cars fitting in for some reason earlier. Maybe some strategy play or something.
I think it may
those
just be
cars-
trying to kind of undercut. It might just be trying to undercut the lap and get back on the lead lap, get a caution, so you can get stay on the lead lap and take tires. Basically, you're trying to play the Hail Mary strategy.
It's
By the way,
This
there was
isn't
a
really a
car that
race
was
factor.
involved in an incident earlier. Bridget Brousseau, she's actually in 9th.
well, to be fair, I can probably count the numbers of cars not involved in a single crack with like the ends of Django and Art. It's I think there's probably like 8 or less, so
Fair
it
enough.
doesn't really say a lot. Oh, okay, no,
The
that's
81, again, keep in mind the 81, fresh tires. She has a tire advantage on all these cars. You're seeing here that especially with the 81, that the fresh tires do mean something. Like fresh tires are
well, yeah.
really important, especially at this stage. And now they've lost almost a second on tires.
And even on just losing the time, this is a track where you gotta be hyper reactive because the car can slide out at any point in a corner, so
Yeah.
having fresh tire really helps with consistency here.
Whereas Lockport is actually going to try to pass the 59 on the outside here. Here comes Ashley Johnson in the 24, getting underneath the 62 of Vinny Schultz.
I mean, with the race going along, you're getting more rubber on that inside, and that makes it kind of easier to
12 is being held
overtake
up by
around
the
the
2
outside.
here. But the 22 is not going to be able to do much with this. The 22 is still... The 22 is pushed to the outside by the 81 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did gain a good bit that time, though. She gained about 0.3 of a second. See if any more cars are going to come down pit road, but
Well, no, I'm guessing that the cars that wanted to undercut probably undercut it as soon as mathematically possible.
yeah, well, the window here is about 100 laps. It's, I think, a little
Yeah, that's
under,
okay.
but it's 100 laps. We see a fight for
So if you-
4th here.
Well, yeah, so you're probably not gonna get any Hail Marys at this point. They're probably gonna be just normal pit stop, and we don't.
Yeah.
The last wreck happened like around lap 120 something.
Yeah,
So we're not gonna really get a lot of pit stops until then, probably.
I would expect
Actually, no,
to
they
see...
didn't pit, so
Yeah.
they didn't pit in the last caution. So
It was around lap 130, but I think they
210.
pitted a little before that. I think it was around 110, 120, around there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing stops fairly soon.
I mean, it would undercutting at about 10 to 15 laps would be extremely.
That's a really long undercut. It'll work in the short term, but not in
Well,
the
the
long
thing
term.
is that you really want to. The thing is that you really want to get to the edge of that tire at the end of just before the sort of massive fall off starts to appear. So you can't really undercut too early, just because of how the tires degrade here. It's very peculiar. So yeah, you really want to be, I guess, edging those tires until the end.
Yeah. Well, Naomi Davenport still is in second. But nobody's really been able to keep up with this 12 car of Jackie Kennedy. We'll see if that maintains, but right now it's looking like the 12 is the dominant car here in Iowa. First car off the lead lap is the 2 of Rachel Ramos. We've gotten this pretty long green flag run here towards the end of the race. The 10 car of McCarron's coming down pit road. I believe she was the last car on the lead lap, actually, so. I don't know how that was the last car on the lead lap when there's other less damaged looking cars that exist, but I mean, sure. See the 25 of Ableton Perez is coming down. And yeah, like I said, we're going to start seeing pit stops. Here comes Rose Lockport in the 77. First of our contenders to drop down. Brosseau's coming in. C. Moriyama. Marina Munoz. Zoe Quinton. Kennedy's still staying out here. Caution is out.
Oh my goodness, are you... No.
Oh, the cautions come out in the middle of the pit cycle.
Congratulations on the 12th for winning this race. There's no way she loses it now, I believe.
Well, there's still 10 cars scoring on the lead lap. We'll see. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure who all is going to be considered a lap down. I believe the 2 will be the free pass car. The 62 stayed out. Oh yeah, the 2's pitting now, so. And same for the 62, so. Well, I'm not exactly 100% sure as to what brought out the caution. I didn't see much when I went looking. So the 12 is going to be considered the leader. You're going to have a whole host of wave rounds.
I'm looking at this. I'm really not seeing a lot of cars that actually, well, maybe if a car like the 24, 22 could challenge for the race lead. There's some that we've seen up there. 42, I guess, too, but except for those, I don't think any of the other ones will challenge. And the 12 still seems to have been faster. So it's gonna be interesting, but we might have a battle on our hand, but we might not. This will really be I say that, but this race could end up in overtime, and we could have
well, we don't
40
have
winning for some reason. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Well, you know, it could end up in quasi overtime, but that stays within the 250 lap race.
Yeah. Pace car's off. Green flag is out. Here we go. Back to racing. From Iowa. I never looked at what caused the caution, but it didn't look like it was anything, but we'll go back and see at some point. Green flag is out. 12 cars out front. 22 is pushing her, though. pushy the 22 is. Caution is out again. The 8 car, Kate Summers, has damage. Okay.
Oh, caution.
Yes. Caution is out again. Looks like Kate Summers has damage. I think Michaela Kirkland has some damage as well. Looks like the 0 of Hidayoko will be the free pass car. I'm gonna wave the 2 around this time as well because she was supposed to be waved around last time, but I never did it properly.
Yeah.
42 of Von Lundquist has problems.
Goodness. This is this race.
All right.
Well, you know,
Well, first of
at
all,
this point.
I want to see what brought out the caution under the pit cycle.
Oh, we didn't look at that. Yeah, that's
So we
true.
didn't look at that. Oh, I see where it is. There it is.
The
54 and 82.
oh my goodness, the 54 just that was voluntary. There's no way that wasn't voluntary. The 54 just hooked twice the whatever the other car was.
The
84,
82.
Oh, the 82.
It's like Kate Summers got spun around on the front stretch.
Oh, the
Lieutenant
54
McCarran.
again.
Lieutenant McCarran gets into her. Oh, the 25. And yeah,
Oh.
Kirkland doesn't really have much places to go there.
Well, I guess it's karma. Right. We're gonna get going with a little bit less than 30 laps to go, so we're getting close to the area where they're just gonna be able to push it right until the end.
Ellie?
Yeah, it looks like the 42 had a tire go down.
Alright, well, they'll probably get their tires changed and we'll see how it looks to the end of the race. So Kennedy, Davenport, Buchanan, Johnson, Willis Callaway, Schultz, Williams, Sundale, Lockport, or so, is the top 10. Good chunk of cars here are actually going to be waved around because now that the cars that got waved around last caution are on the lead lap, they're scored there. That means the lap down cars that were between them also get the top 10 wave around now. So that will help them too. Krista Anderson, actually, the 35 car, has gotten back on the lead lap. She's kind of battled all race to get there, but she's gotten back. We'll have 32 laps to go when we go back green. Kennedy didn't have a stellar restart last time, but she'll go for it again here. See if she can do a little better. Green flag. And when she slides up the track a little bit, 22's going to make the look to the inside.
Yeah, but
Oh, contact between those two. Davenport really pushing the issue.
yeah, the 12 is very racy now, but just had a terrible start. And yeah, that's a position loss probably.
She's trying to hang on the outside. Got a great drive through the outside. I think she'll hold on to it. Yes, she will.
That was impressive. That just
Very
I
strong.
think the 22 also got pushed a little bit by the 59, and that might have played into it. Yeah, the 12 needs to get up to pace now a lot. At least increase her pace. She's been up to pace, but you know.
Willis Callaway went really wide, but she's going to still maintain fourth. Here comes Vinnie Schultz on Ashley Johnson.
Seems like we might have a battle for the best of the rest for the rest of the field. I say that I think the 99 might be closing in now.
I know it's closing up, yeah. Interestingly, she's closing up while running the outside. She's running a much wider line than everybody else,
yeah.
and she's looking really strong while doing it.
I mean, yes, but also she's really coming in a lot in the corner. She's really digging it. Like it's look at that. That's she's coming in lower than everyone, but she's coming out higher than everyone.
Yeah.
She's really just coming everywhere.
She's really gotten into this group now. She's going to drag the 62 in with her. Again, if you're Vinnie Schultz, that's one of the things you don't want to see is that 12 car winning. And especially if you're Mayumi Moriyama in the 64, that's something you really don't want to see because that will knock you out of the playoffs right now.
I mean, it's not really in her control, though, so...
Well, yeah, but still, something she doesn't really want to see.
I think,
Kennedy slipped a little bit there. Not enough for the 22 to do very much, though. We're at 24 laps to go.
In any case, Maruyama is really just losing the position in any case right now. Because Kennedy's... Except if Kennedy has some mechanical failure and ends up retiring or being a lap down. Yeah, that's not going to be a position loss.
Yeah, it was 4 points between them coming in.
Yeah.
The difference here is going to be between an assured spot and a point spot for Kennedy.
Yes. And with 3 races after this one...
Richmond, Darlington, and Pensacola.
We'll probably have one other new winner, which means that... Probably needs that win spot. But otherwise...
Well,
otherwise
3 of these 4 drivers, 4 of the 5 drivers up front don't have a win yet. The only one that does is that 22 of Naomi Davenport, who actually has 2 so far. And the 12 slides up again a little bit. Here comes Davenport to the inside.
Oh, and they're catching lap traffic.
Lap car in the 8 showing up. Davenport sticks on the inside. We'll see who it helps here.
Oh, nobody.
Oh, it's going to help Davenport. The 22 is going to take it, and she's clear. And the 12 is getting shuffled back.
Oh, my goodness. 59
and the 12 still can't get by. The 62's just touching the 99's rear bumper. And Naomi Davenport has the lead again. And Kennedy's all the way back to 5th now. And Moriyama is actually in 9th.
Oh my goodness. She's got to be frustrated, to say the least.
Oh, the 62 and 99 on the apron.
Yeah, they're really going at it now. We're coming close to 15 goodness, laps to go. And that's gonna be basically the moment to just hammer down and try to get that win from the 22. Because considering how insane the racing has been since they've gone green again, anyone
my
still, oh my
gosh.
goodness, anyone still in the top 5 can win it, I think.
I think so.
Especially if we have other lap traffic coming up.
I wouldn't be surprised to see this 59 of Abby Buchanan do something either. She's pretty close.
Oh, and we do have a lot of lap traffic coming up.
Yeah.
Multiple cars. So
I wouldn't be surprised to see if the 99 pulls something off here either.
now they're grouping together, and I think that's what they really need to do. Just not attack each other, try to go to that 22 and battle it out for maybe the last 5 laps or so. Because half a second is still kind of a lot at what is still a short track, which means that the gaps take a little bit longer to clear out.
Oh,
well,
she
not
can't
if you're
get there.
blocked completely like the 04. Goodness me, oh
Here
lord,
comes
this is for
Buchanan.
lead.
The 59 goes for the lead. And now Davenport's stuck on behind the lap car. And the 59 has showed up.
54.
And now they're going to get held up by the 54. Here comes Karina Willis-Callaway.
This is incredible. This is...
Vinny Schultz into second. Kennedy's gone back to third. And they've got another lapper in the mix here, the 26 of Morales. Vinny Schultz is all over the 99.
Now they need to be careful out there with mini lap traffic and a big pack behind. If they wreck, that's going to mean a very late caution. So everyone kind of needs to be careful. Or maybe not, if you want to sabotage a race, if you're one of these drivers that could lose.
Oh, side by side, Schultz and Willis-Callaway.
Oh.
We're at our Windows 11 to go, and it's antsy here in Iowa. Vinny Schultz trying to take the lead away from Karina. They're side by side at the line.
A number 12 could still get that race lead, and actually I think the number 12 is looking very good for that race lead right now, especially considering that 4th and 5th are now a second away, still dealing with lap traffic, so it's going to be one of those 3, more than likely, that's going to win it today.
And Vinny's out front.
But look at, yeah, the 12 is really aggressive, just looking for an opportunity to do a quick slide job, gain the position, and then be able to go and take that first place. But there's really just not a lot. That 99 is taking all the racetrack, and that's what she needs to be doing. But she needs to be focusing, I believe, as well on the race lead, and she isn't driving like she is, at least.
Well, the thing is, Karina was able to hold on to second. And that's good because a lot of the times when we've seen cars get hung up behind lap traffic, they haven't been able to hold on to that position. Laura Sundale came down pit road. Looks like she had some kind of engine issue.
Great day for my cars. Alright. And we're gonna have another lap car coming in very quickly.
The 11 of Aya.
Now's the time the 99 gotta close in a little bit. Because now she's just a little bit too far back, so that it's gonna be, especially considering that the 11 seems to be faster. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to.
Here's another thing
make
to
a
think
move
about.
from
The
that far
11
back.
is the 62's teammate. Do we get team orders at play here?
I wouldn't believe so, but I wouldn't believe so.
The 99's really closing up.
Oh lord. Yeah, just because team orders are very hard to accomplish here at Iowa, just because of the one groove racetrack. Oh, the 62.
Gonna kind of hold up both of them.
Oh, 62 completely missed her exit there. Just went too inside. Actually bit a little bit of the apron.
99 doesn't 99 plays nice though. She lets the 62 have it.
Well, I think she realizes that the 11's gonna be a hindrance for her as well. 4 laps to go, and we have
Really
another
good exit for the
I believe.
99.
Yeah, we have one last lap car.
One last lap car, will it play a factor? Davenport's close right back up to Kennedy, but I think she's run out of time.
Well, no, it's gonna be one at the top too.
It's the top two that's at play here, and Summers is the last one here at play. Schultz
But
gets
just
down.
no grip, and that's gonna be easy to overtake. And the 62 is won it, I believe.
I don't know.
Or is it-
Still one more lap. We come to the white flag. 62 goes a little wide.
Yeah, but that's the good line here outside of 4. Gives you good momentum.
White flag, 1 lap to go. Vinnie Schultz and Karina Willis-Callaway fighting for the win in Iowa. How about Freya von Lundqvist has made her way to 5th? But it's going to be Vinnie Schultz, the top driver in points without a win. She finally locks down the dub. Schultz wins in Iowa.
I think it's gonna make Moriyama and Kennedy happy here.
For those two, that's the best outcome that could have happened from a new driver winning.
Well, yes. The only
Because
real
it doesn't
good outcome from
because
a
it
driver
does
winning.
not because it doesn't change the cut line one bit.
Definitely. That was an entertaining finish.
That was a really good race. I really enjoyed that.
I think Kennedy's gonna be very upset after this.
Yeah, she's gonna be kicking herself, I think.
I mean, it wasn't really our fault. It was more bad coincidences because of lap cars and everything.
I mean, another thing is that Kennedy is very, very likely going to get a good bonus for leading most laps, probably. Well, what'd you think of that race here from Iowa? 17 cars finished on the lead lap. Vinnie Schultz, Karina Willis-Callaway, 1-2 for those two drivers. What did you think?
It was a race of, I wouldn't say attrition. It was a race of 3 parts, really. We had 3 stages, almost as if this was NASCAR. We had the first stage, which was first really 100 laps, where everyone was, I guess, running cleanly. We had pretty good racing. Then we had the chaos fest of the next 50 laps. And then we had a kind of endurance, well, maybe not endurance, but multi-class racing that we can't see in IMSA and WEC, where really just car positioning is the most important factor, which gave for a very weird but enjoyable mix.
Yeah, this is a huge win for Vinnie Schultz, who really wanted that win. She's been so close all year, and hey, she finally got it. And that's something that I think is going to be really, really celebrated, especially in the Inverness Racing Camp.
Definitely.
And that's something that's really good for her playoff-wise, because she was one of those drivers who was on the bubble. She fell towards that bubble because she just hadn't won a race yet. She finally is able to get one just a few races away from the start of the playoffs. All right, we will have the updated playoff standings and more information about our next few races with our studio hosts. The FanDuel Fan Studio will be in session here in just a bit here with Russia and Ellie. In the meantime, though, would you might as well shout out some good runs here. How about Freya von Lundqvist finishing 5th? She had that tire go down, and she still managed to climb back up to 5th. That's pretty impressive. Rachel Ramos took the free pass. She managed to get back to 10th. How about Maya Sheldeby, another car that was a laps down? managed to finish 17th still.
Well,
Bridget
I mean, a lot of good runs here from drivers that went far back, because we had basically, if you were far back in the first part of that race, with the big one with the 4 like consecutive cautions, Ray just had the time, and then if you did the Hail Mary, that probably was a good thing, because it means you at least got more time when that well, it's not a late caution, but it's kind of a late stage caution, I guess you could say. It came out, so it really just favored the drivers that had issues earlier on. Because really, basically everyone in this race had some kind of issue.
Well, we will have all that and more in our post-race report. With Rasha and Ellie, what do you two got for us down there? Take it away for the post-race show.
Yeah, that was a very fun second half of the race here at Iowa Speedway. Pretty much not quite green the whole way, but the one time we did have not quite green the whole way, but kind of went a good chunk of the way green. We had that excellent last run to the end there. I think about 20 or 25 or so laps from the last caution to the end of the race. And what a melee that was for a position between the 62, 99, 12, and 22 in the top 4. That was a very fun battle, having to seeing those 4 cars having to navigate their way around all the lap traffic. So once again here joined by Ellie for the post race show, I should say. We saw a little bit of that. Strategy, but strategy kind of coming into form. But we had that caution that interrupted things, kind of flattened out the strategy, at least at the front of the field for everyone there. And then obviously that last run was just all a matter of being able to wrangle your car, especially on the medium to long run there. And the lap traffic definitely helped things out. The 62 really took advantage of the lap traffic there, and once she was up front, used the defended to her advantage to take the win there. What do you think?
Yeah, she definitely took advantage of that lap traffic. It really worked into her favor. But I do have to give credit where credit's due, and Jackie Kennedy still managed to, after getting freight trained by that traffic, and everybody just swung past her, she eventually ended up coming out pretty decent still. I mean, she had a really great performance the entirety of the race was great for her, but points-wise, I think this does help her out as well, but yeah, overall, it was just great racing.
Yeah, it was great racing, especially in that last run, while getting around all of that lap traffic fairly cleanly like that. Not exactly the easiest thing to do, as we've seen many times in this race. So kudos to everyone there in the field for doing well and making sure that last run was as clean as possible. That was very good to watch from a racing standpoint. Obviously, Vinny Schultz winning the race won't have too much of a impact on the standings. She won't. Obviously, this means she won't be able to fall out of the playoffs anymore with that win. So that leaves the cut line battle just between the 12 and 64 now. And yeah, I think that'll be just those two now, pretty much. 59, I guess, is still in it. Obviously, with that, we'll still be in it with a 6th place finish. But I think it is just going to come down to basically just those 3 drivers. I mean, looking at maybe... Nah, I was going to say Karina, but Karina lost even more points today, I think. It would take quite a bit, I think, for the 99 to be able to make it. Obviously, with the championship lead, the championship lead is going to change, change up a little bit. I'll move the, the 95 and... the 95 obviously didn't go for very long, so that's not the driver. That's not the driver to worry about. I think the driver that's going to be up top is probably going to be Deborah Williams because she finished top 10. And then let's see, it's going to come down to that, and then Davenport's probably in there. Carter Reynolds. I think it's going to change quite a bit here, shifts wise in the standings. Getting some of these, getting at least the top 5 now. It's going to be Williams, Reynolds, Davenport, Schultz, and Hirayoko all in the top 5 there. So that's 3 recent race winners there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 62, Vinny, we talked about struggling a little bit coming into this race, but that kind of, with a performance like that, everything kind of just goes away, and she's moved up now, kind of back to a championship contending, what do you call it? Championship contending picture, I think.
Yeah, she was great for the majority of the season, and there was a bit where it looked like she was trying to find where her pace is at, and I think she's finally got it again. She definitely needed that win, and now she's finally got it.
Yeah, Schultz with had, I think, 4 top 5 finishes before today's win. So this will be her 5th top 5 of the season and 8th top 10 of the year. But yeah, hadn't had a top 5 since all the way back in Kentucky. So that's how far back things are. That's how far back we're going to find some of these stats. Looking at the rest of the standings here, obviously Karina finished 2nd. Jackie Kennedy finished 3rd. She'll still be above the cut line, beating out the 64 of Moriyama. Freya von Lundquist with a top 5. Davenport, of course, finished 4th. Some of the other drivers here, obviously Bridget Brasseau doing fairly well. I think that'll be her 6th top 10 of the season, which is more than some drivers who've run the entire year. So I think that 46 has been quite impressive. Once she stepped into that 46 car, obviously came close to winning, but has been a very solid top 10 driver ever since she was signed to drive in the for Ponos Racing there. Another good result. For the 77 of Rose Lockport, of course. Lockport's been typically quick when she does qualify. She does qualify only occasionally. She's had quite a few DNQs in the last month or so. It's had a string of 3 DNQs in a row, but since then she's qualified for both of those races and finished top 10 in both of those races. Qualified and finished both in the top 10 for both of those races. 3rd at IRP and 8th at Iowa. Another good run for that 77. The Meridian cars are interesting to watch because they are often fairly quick.
Yeah, they have been very quick.
They're fairly quick
fun to watch.
They're fairly quick, but they don't qualify very often, given that they're kind of in the mid-20s in points.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they are fun to watch.
They are fun to watch. Yeah, that's something I can definitely attest to. I don't think any of our drivers really had that. Any other of our new drivers really had that much of a race to talk about. Ashley Johnson, of course, finishing 16th. She's really been struggling to qualify in the last, how many races is this one? 10 races. She's qualified for 4 of them, so I think I'm getting my numbers right there. I mean, playoff-wise, it's basically going to come down between the 12 and the 64 and maybe the 59. There's 7 points between those two, and then Buchanan, I think, is just... I think Buchanan is, let's see here. I got the points up now. Buchanan is 38 points back, and then Willis Calloway is 56 back. And I think that's the extent to which I think anybody can really point their way towards the into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
With only 3 races left to go, it's really going to come down to wins now, I think.
Definitely going to come down to wins. I mean, Kennedy is up by 7, and she's...
What? Save it. I did. Oh.
Kennedy is up by 7, and she's the only person above the cut line in points. It's really going to come down to a win, and I think the 99 performed really decently. I think she could definitely be a driver to look at for a win.
Yeah, I mean, which driver did you mention?
The 99 of Korea.
99? Yeah, 99. 99 has gotten pretty close to winning as well. 99 kind of also has that kind of that thing where she's come close to winning a few times. She came close to winning at Chicago, from what I remember. She came close to winning at Charlotte as well. Finished 3rd in that race. So she has quite a few top 10s actually. 4 top 5s. So when she is in the top 10, she's typically in the top 5s. 4 top 5s, 6 top 10s. But obviously, kind of carrying RGB Racing, given how kind of how much of a mess that team has been performance-wise this season. The 99 obviously being being kind of the flagship car for that team has been doing everything in her power to kind of get that win this season. Come close quite a few times. We'll see if she can get it done in the next 3 races in the regular season here. All right, with that, we'll take you back to the booth now. Thank you for being with us here for the post-race show. It's been a fun time here at Iowa Speedway. Next week, Continental's tomorrow. I should start with tomorrow. Tomorrow's race, of course, is going to be at the Cup Series race here at Iowa as well. That'll be a 400 lap race from there, and then next week it'll be Richmond Raceway, another kind of big short track for everyone to watch. That's going to be a good show that's going to be a good show as well. So yeah, we'll take things over now to Echo for the closing of the broadcast, and we'll see you guys around.
Yeah, and a really fun race here from Iowa. We'll see you again tomorrow here for the Cup race, the Iowa Corn 400. That one should be very fun. Vinny Schultz, your winner today here from Iowa, and really fun race here from this beautiful 7/8 of a mile short track in the American heartland, the Midwest. I will see you tomorrow, and then next week we'll be at Richmond. 2 weeks we'll be at Darlington, and in 3 weeks we'll have our regular season finales at Pensacola for the second plate race of the season. On behalf of Ellie, Rasha, and Ludovic, I'm Echo. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all next time.